Yes, and we're back. Because we had technical difficulties and I was probably offending people.
That's why they shut that joint
That's
down.
why they shut it down. It was like, yo, this dude's offensive. And by right, I am. But I stand by what I say. Like, she actually, since we did get, it did went off, um, Melissa had a venue, had real fans come out, um, and support, and a lot of you so-called artists, I see y'all charging for features, charging for this, and you ain't got no fan base. And that's the shit that needs to stop.
I don't think he was trying to be offensive though. It's just truth. It's just truth. Like I just would say like you can't cook up a fan base quickly, and I think in this climate is that's how it is. It's just like, and no shade to any of the great artists like Chloe Leray. I like her. I think she's dope, but she's been having that same issue as having all this support on TikTok, all this stuff. We doing her songs, everybody covering her songs, but then when it goes to buy album, the album sales are low, and a lot of people are trying to figure out why, and not just her, but a lot of artists. And I think because it's like the quick thing versus actually starting and really building your fan base from the ground up.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
my thoughts about that is, the one thing I noticed with your fan base was you had a connection with it. A lot of people don't have a connection with it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I gotta tell a story. I remember there was a group that won one of my partners' events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Five man group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So another event we threw, they had a chance to win $1,500. The nicest person. The real was, even if I would let y'all perform, you're disqualified from winning because you didn't even. Why would I let y'all win 1,500 if you couldn't even get 20 from each of y'all?
That's true.
You mean to tell me out of 5 people, none of y'all had 5 people or 3 people that y'all could have brought with you that was willing to pay to see you?
Wow. But sometimes that's really how it is. I think too, like throwing a show, like because in my mind it's like, okay, these people have gotten up out of their homes to come see you. Show off. Like that's not the time to not give them a show. So I think that's also what maybe where the connection is missing,
I mean,
because it's because like you said, I do have a connection with them. And then I'm thinking like anybody that come and see me, that's great in itself that they're coming out to see me. So I want them to leave with an experience and not leave like, oh, we came out the house for that. Um, so I just think the internet is great, but it also messed up a lot of
it
things.
did because a lot of people confuse internet famous or internet hot with really being hot and really being famous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's because it gives you a false narrative. It's like the Nicki Minaj's, the Beyonce's, the Cardi B's, they're level because they build their fan base, but they also have a real internet presence. That's different. But like everyday people, some of us have great internet view. You know, you might be famous on TikTok, but that doesn't really. That's not really me and hubby talked about this early. What's the word I wanted? That's not really like money, funds, like actual stuff you can look at, and when it's time to leave that gig and come back and it's like, wait a minute, I don't even have anything. So I get, because as a entertainer you have to look great, but you kind of want to make sure you have a balance of still having that connection with, if it's I think if it's all for self, maybe that's what it is. then people don't connect. Because if it's only to like look great, to be popular online, but you're not really connecting with what people want to listen to, what critiques people are giving you, what they're saying. I try to really listen to my fan base, and I know they were pissed at me taking so long to even perform, but it's the fact that people were waiting all that time, years, like please, or even the song Better, the song they've been waiting, and then when they finally seen the video, it was great. So I also felt like I didn't give them crap for waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the thing too, of like just quickly putting things together and like boom, this is it. So not like kind of like you said, Rakeem, like not real work ethic, like
Yeah.
real work, like you want to see, like the way we did the video, you can see time was put into it. Like I didn't want to just, and that's no shade to people that do it this way, but I did not want to just drop a song and say go listen to me. To me, it's like if that's all the effort you put in, why would people be else you gotta say? It's the same thing when they came out to the show. I was just thinking like, y'all, let's rock. And when we would have had more time, because we ran out of time, we didn't even really scratch the surface of the show of like really getting into the set. But they were still like in awe, and I was in awe of them coming and being there, and like, because it rained and I was talking trash. I was like, you know what? They better still come, because
And they did.
yeah, because 2 weeks prior, we know Beyonce came to DC. Sis did her thing, and I know a lot of my friends was in that rain. And if I would have had tickets, I would have been in the rain too. And I was like, they better come out, cause you coming.
When got my camera and came in, it's you don't mind doing stuff like that when you have people who are passionate about what they do. When you have people who phone it in, then I'm pissed. Because if I'm here to support you and you're doing lackluster shit, it's just it's not fun. And everybody has their story. Everybody, you never know what another person is going through. Prior to releasing Better, you lost a close personal friend. Like it was, somebody who you were working with. You're a mother. You got. You do your health, your fitness thing. You work a full-time job, and you do another podcast. People don't know the struggle in your story, so we're all going through something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's something that I'm gonna try to, because I got a lot of good feedback from the video with people seeing that side, because a lot of times people always see this side. Boom, I'm jumping, I'm working out, and they see that happy-go-lucky, she's outgoing. Y'all know me, I'm not going to say nothing negative on Facebook, even if I'm not going to say, like, my life is falling apart, help me, that's just not me. So seeing that raw side, like, okay, this is how she look when she gets angry. So same thing for my life, like 151 said, it's not easy. None of it is easy. This has been 2023 have kicked my ass. Like it's been a hard year. It's been a really hard year, but I didn't want everything that I had set and planned to go to waste. And I think Mike Lee would have been very upset with me knowing like, why would you just drop the ball? But I did learn this year that I had to recover. So I had to recover, step back and recover. And the first thing I did of the year was 151 shoot. That kind of saved me, because I was in a space when we did that shoot for At the Bar Radio. I felt like bad, and it was almost done, and you don't have access to none of it. It was just like devastating all around the board for everybody that was involved, and I really just wanted to quit after that. But then I already had things that I was working on, and when 151 called me and asked me to do that shoot, it was like, okay, first shoot of the year. And then I took another little break, and then we did the video with Joe Clear, Uptown XO, and Super Dave. And I just was like, okay, something else great. And that just kept happening, like little things to kind of get me back to where I need to be. a lot of times I can't really fall completely apart because you guys know I do have 3 kids and I'm married. And it's like I can't be running around here super depressed. But I was really low because my son got sick this year. He's still battling. And I'm going to talk a whole lot more about that in a few months. I'm probably going to get this filmed so you guys can see our day to day. But it was so many curveballs. But then I always remember when you're on the right path to something great, that's what happens. It's like you just get knocked down. So anybody that's listening, get inspired. Even if life is throwing you all these curveballs, that usually means you're in the right direction. When life is going easy, that means you're probably not stepping in your purpose.
I mean, greatness is defined learning how to operate in chaos.
Yes.
When stuff is going too well, a storm is coming.
Yeah.
And, you got to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
I've rode 16 hours in a passenger van for my nephew to perform a 7-minute song from here to Rhode Island. Got up at the crack of dawn to get in his van. Like, when we just went to North Carolina, actually right after that show, right after your performance, I worked that day, I came out to your joint, by 3 o'clock in the morning, I was on the road to go to North Carolina to take pictures and to interview people for my man's his indie fest.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Life, there's always going to be some type of chaos when you're doing good stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be it's not. Well, I guess you tell my aunt. I learned this great quote. It's not learning how to weather the storm. It's learning how to dance in the rain.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Wow, I never thought about it like that." I said, "Yeah, because we always say you got to weather the storm. You just hold fast. No, learn to dance in the rain. Learn to embrace what's going on.
Yeah.
And make something out of it.
Yeah, because I think definitely, especially in the arts, that's when you build a lot of amazing things, and it's like, hey, that's when you make that killer Grammy Award-winning album.
True.
Because you so because I was watching Kirk Franklin documentary yesterday, and he's making this new album that comes out October 6th, Father's Day, and I was like, yeah, this album probably gonna be really good because it's like all the stuff he went through this year with finding his dad, and I was just like, that's when. But he was saying, I brought that up because he was saying, I need this. Like, he was in the studio, like, I have to do this because if not, I'm gonna explode. So I have to go into the studio. Yeah. So that's one thing I'm learning. It's like, instead of going into a shell, like 151 said, weather the storm. That means you just sitting in the storm waiting for it to be over. Instead of that, like, no, what's going on? Okay. How we got in a car accident, this happened, and we literally was like, plan B, what's next? Instead of letting it like hit us.
So that's another thing, and definitely, I definitely shout out D. That's my dude. Y'all could have easily been like, I didn't even know until y'all pulled up.
Oh yeah.
And I appreciate both of y'all so much for still coming because that's some real life shit to be like, yo, if you'd have told me, I'd have been like, nah, we ain't gotta do this.
Yeah.
But that's dancing in the rain, y'all still came out here and, that right there I'm so appreciative. I'm also appreciative too is that I'm also a published photographer thanks to Melissa D.
Hello. Yes, yeah. He sure is. Cause I'm a firm believer of when you're on your way up and you're getting opportunities, you take your team with you, not grab a new team. And a lot of times I see people grab a new team. And it's like, if you've been using the same hairstylist for a million years and you finally get a magazine, why did you go with this? So I felt like, I told them when they hit me, I said, oh no, I already have a photographer. I already have photos. No, I'm good. I have some good stuff to send you all. And when I sent them the information, they were like, oh yeah, these are great photos. Because I was just like, no, I don't need a separate photo shoot and another photographer. So I think I see that a lot when people leave their team, and it's like, you had the dream team. That's another thing that I wanted to touch on. other than just my fan base, like having people to really generally do stuff. Like my hairstylist, he didn't do my hair for that day. Um, but he was cool with like jumping in last minute, figuring out my hair. Like people just come through. That's why I say it's paid to be nice to those that's nice to you. I ain't saying you gotta go around here being big, but you gotta have your people.
One, she's being very modest. Her hairstylist who came out to support her event, he just ain't no regular hairstylist.
No, he not. He's all on magazines. Him and Melanie Williams, Kenneth Editon. Shout out to you and Melanie Williams. They do a lot of amazing things. They've been all on the news, but it's just like that's one of the things that's also been pressing me to go is because it's like these people that's already out there, they still waiting for you to get your life together. So sometimes.
Well, I like what you said is you build with your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of the reasons I do things. I'm one of those people that do things with certain people. Like I've been rocking with my man George for like over 10 years. You know, whatever he asks me to do, I do. You know, I've worked the door for him. I take pictures. I interview, whatever, because I believe in building with your tribe.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy to be part of your tribe. You know, me and Soup, I actually met Dave because of George, because we got the radio station, and me and Dave just became real cool. Yeah. You know, boom. I was very honored and blessed when he asked me to film 2 videos. You know, I ain't got no problem with it. I thought that was to even be thought about like that. Yeah. I thought that was great. You know, and I know that first video I worked the shit out, y'all, because we did a lot of scenes.
Hey, now see, he know that. Look now, he know started this standard. So my next single, yeah, I'm expecting it because it made a difference though. Because he might have worked us, but I feel like when I go back and look at it, it's like people have hit me that I haven't talked to in 5-6 years. One of my, I'm gonna shout her out, Dr. Michelle Carter, but Buchanan now. Like she literally was like over the regional, over DC, and she moved and doing bigger things, and she seen it and like text me and was like, your video is great, and some other. I was like, whoa. So just to hear that, because it's a lot of stuff out there, it's a lot of material. But when I went back and looked, I was like, yo, we really did this. Like it came out phenomenal. So I'm happy you worked this, because I was grateful to be able to do it, to keep running the scenes. He would say, run back again. Run, come on, I need more emotion, do this. But I'm really glad he did, because he kept saying, the more, the better. We need a lot of footage. And it made a difference. When I look back at that video, I'm just like, wow, like we really did that. Like it's not the type of video, and I'm not just saying that because it's mine, that you would look at it and be like, oh, it's like, for real, people, some of y'all already think I got $1 million out here because of that video, because it's like, wow, like her team really did an amazing job, all the way down to the edits, and then everything, like the acting, but they were instructing me. So a lot of you, I don't know if you guys might know, because you probably have seen me do some stuff lately. I played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz in March, and then I played Effie. That was in August. So I do have a theater background. I used to do drama, and so I would do that type of stuff. But it takes that person to believe in you and pull it back out. And I hadn't had to use that skill set in that way in years. And when we filmed, and he would be like, do this, do a little bit more. And I would just, be like, okay, he's like, now point, But getting all that stuff, it was amazing. And now he have set the standard, okay? So that means the next go round, I know it's gonna be the same way. And I don't even need another person to say, you want me to film you a video? I'm good on that.
Well, I like challenges. I like like I said, I'm a big fan of my tribe. So when you work with dope people, it makes you want to do dope things. And watching people create stuff, and it's like, and being part of that, it's like cool. Like you almost had 1,000 views.
I know. I ain't so I'm gonna come back on Facebook maybe tomorrow and say, hey y'all, we almost 2 weeks in and this where we at. So I was really cause I didn't send it to 1,000 people. I sent it to about 50, and then I posted it. So I was, and it's the amount of people that been hitting me, like people that my mama know. They call and they like, we like that video, child, from North Carolina. I'm like, wait a minute, but it's making people excited.
Yeah.
And this is just the first song off the project. So
and it's
yeah,
good. It's good R&B. It's a relatable song, and like I'm so proud of it. Like I'm like, man, because I remember just getting off work and be like, boom, we're gonna shoot here, boom, boom, boom. And the funny thing about that is that wasn't even the original location that I was shooting for.
Mm-hmm.
We found that location by accident,
yeah,
and we went to the original location, and it was closed and under construction. I was like, oh, well, let's just go back to this other one that we just saw.
yeah.
And then we fell in love with that. Like, it was dope.
It was like everything was just divine time. Like this, the way things were just happening. I was just like, okay. And then I do want to shout out Dave.
Definitely, Super Dave.
For being like on me, because he was like, hello, like he would be like, hello, Melissa, ... I was shooting it. They just that. Also shout out AP for coming through and filming, and he did a wonderful job of supporting actor. And he also made me feel comfortable, because I was like, okay, all right, so now I got to do a video with this guy. I'm like, okay, this is different for me.
So here's the funny thing, and I gotta say this. I heard your mom doing the video shoot.
Yeah.
Doing the video premiere, and she was like, you know, I'm sure. Because they saw the scene where y'all were laying next to each other.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, man, I'm surprised Dee didn't get mad. What they don't realize, it's like 6 people in that room.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like not
Dee
just...
Dee was in the room. I think your best friend was in the room.
Right. William was in the room.
Yeah.
Reds was there that day. Dee best friend. I'm like... We were deep, and people don't realize that.
It's so funny because people think when you see the video, it looks very intimate.
Yeah.
When you shoot, it's like 6 people.
It's 6 people. And then in my mind, I'm like, y'all not ready for the rest of the project, because I was like, you know, I plan on definitely having some visual things there. So it's a when you're a artist, but you're also married, because I'm not going to just say in a relationship, there's a happy medium.
Yeah.
And I just try to make sure he knows, hey, what you think about this, you know. But it was very funny. I'm not going to lie, it was very funny filming. It was funny.
I love shouting out D because I love the support that he gives.
Yeah.
And I think whether people in a relationship or friendship or whatever, support is such a big thing. And, you know, there's a lot of people that don't get that type of support.
Yeah.
So when you see it, I think it's good to acknowledge it, and it's genuine. Like, when I saw I knew he was going to be playing drums. I was like, I watched TV and this motherfucker playing drums. And when I saw him, I was like, yeah, this is about to be good.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
But like, I appreciate that so much. Because, like, people don't realize it takes a team to be great. You know, I always tell the story of Nelly and the St. Lunatics. So when Nelly, when they went to go to get signed, the record company said, no, we like Nelly. So the St. Lunatics pushed Nelly to the forefront. They did everything to help write rhymes, to play their positions, and everything. And all of them got to eat. That's how you're supposed to move as a team. You know, I remember the Locks. You know, when no one signed Sheek Luch, he went independent route. And then eventually when the Locks got off, he was the only one that wasn't feeding his money to Puffy for publishing. When the Locks got off and they went independent, you know, they were able to transition over. But that's your team.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. You know, you build when you build with the right people, you always gonna be solid.
Always, yeah. Shout out to Bestie, Charlene. Just shout her out, cause another person just pushing. My stylist, Shalonda Cole, always push. Like you need that. Like he said, you have to have a team. Like I think we live in a society. It's like it's all about me. It's so many people that do.
That's the biggest lie that's why a lot of people are unsuccessful, because you have the mentality it's just me.
Yeah.
I don't mind making another person great because one, I'm a background person. I'm cool being in the background. Two, I don't mind making another person great and helping pushing them in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good friends with DJ Nasty Nice. He out Roanoke. He's one of the coalition DJs.
Mm-hmm.
When he's on the radio, when he's doing his thing, and he's like, "Yo, send me songs, send me mixes." I'll either, if I have the song by the artist, I'll send it, or I'll tag the artist for them to send the music.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a problem. You know, hey, this is an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Boom. Now I done tagged many artists, and only a few actually took the opportunity to send them music.
Yeah.
But if you're living in the DMV and you don't know nobody in Roanoke and he's popping in Roanoke, send the fucking song.
Yeah.
You know, I can only help you
Yeah.
to what you want to be. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta want the rest. But,
Definitely.
But you know what we about to do now? I think we about to play this Daily Bread, and then we're gonna do better.
Oh, y'all ready for it?
So we about to get a double take.
Daily Bread, I be listening to it every day.
Oh, hold on. Before we even talk about Daily Bread,
Yeah.
before we even do the video, let's talk about it. Because it's the 50th year of hip hop.
Yes.
And we didn't even notice when we shot this video. It's the 50th freaking year of hip hop. And we're shooting a video with one of the famous hosts of Rap City.
We did not think about that till today. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Like, I don't even think we realize how monumental that is. And shout out to Joe Click, because he was real down to earth.
He was very great. He was, yeah.
Man, I asked him to do the shout out. He did like 4 or 5 takes because we kept dying laughing. And I just find that to be amazing. How do you feel about being a part of that? That's something special.
I was shocked, honestly, because when Dave first came to me about doing the song, and he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Joe on it," and I was like, "Okay," and of course I was like, "All right," and then he said, "Well, Joe liked it, so he on the song, but I don't know if I can get him to do the video." And I was just thinking, like, if it's supposed to be meant, it will happen. And then when he called me and said, "We're going to do a joke," showed up on time.
Yeah.
He was ready. He had a great personality. And it was kind of surreal. And when we dropped the pictures online, everybody was like, "Wait a minute."
That Joe Click?
like they just out here. And I was just like, yeah. Like, we just out. So that was amazing. But I also loved to see how he was. And that's a great model to stand by. Like, he does a lot of amazing things, but he was just like talking to your cousin.
Yeah.
And he was just.
So it was funny because I just asked him randomly, "Yo, could you do a shout out for At the Bar?" And salute to you and Uptown XO and Sister Day. So y'all all wound up doing it, but when I asked him, I mean, if he'd have said no, I'd have been still cool with it, but he was just like, "Sure."
Right.
He was excited to do it, and he was like, "Hold on, let's do another take." And it was just funny, man. I love watching it because he just felt so genuine.
Yeah.
And and at the time when we doing it, I did not realize it's the 50th year of hip hop.
Of hip hop.
And I can look back at this and say, during the 50th year of hip hop, we recorded a video with a person who was a staple in hip hop.
Yeah.
Who was bringing hip hop into everybody's homes on BET. You know, shout out to the Basement, shout out to Rap City.
Yes.
Like especially after like MTV had stopped doing like Yo on TV raps, and Rap City was the only place you could get hip hop and get freestyles, and way before URL. Like that shit's monumental when you think about it. So we're gonna play Daily Break because I did not know that Joe Clear rapped until we did this video.
Me either.
I thought he was gonna be in the video telling jokes.
Giving honor to the Most High. Most guys wouldn't even get this close. I know I can't let this opportunity float by. Bending knees, folded hands, closed eyes. God, I done been through so much stress and pain, and in the end I know I only got myself to blame. This world influence is heavy, especially in this game, but in my darkest hour I know there's still power in your name. God, in this world there's so much suffering and violence, but in your word I know there's comfort and guidance. Made a promise, though the darkness might not be behind us, the truth is the light, and if you look for it, you'll always find it. Shine.
Tribe out here in the wilderness, and we just try and get our way back home. Come on. Dear God, we so gone. Dear God, we so lost. Babies hard and soft, can't fight but bust off. No word, no balls, and no ma, and no pa. I said we so lost, and the prophets are so false. They killing us for cost, and the villains are still feeling us, pretending they not faking, fucking they fraud. Fakers fucking, they fucking us all. Running off with the ducats, fake and fucking us raw. Disease and pestilence. Color my phlegm when I call him and him is the boss. Like the system ain't fucking us all. He tempted the flaws, can't live with the laws. A status, a statue, cause niggas care what it costs. Broke ass nigga, but he don't consider the cost. Still getting swallowed, bread and water. You need to be thinking big, bitch, you keep thinking small. Still getting swallowed, bread and water. Yeah, you need to be thinking big, bitch, you keep thinking small.
Give us our daily bread, but now we got a middleman who got us getting bread daily. Transactions hand to hand, crime it was black on black. For those who stopped hustling and started back, some treated that like he was back on crack. God, please continue to be the one behind our back. If we relax, if we may backslide, we can't relapse. But it's on when the Maybach cars keep driving past. You see everything they acting like they sit behind your back. The vibe, but we not. Fill the voids that are empty. We need knowledge, compassion, and empathy shown to our enemies. Lord knows I love war, but that wasn't empty me. I know how many go. Some funerals, we all empty seats. We return to you whether we lit or not. The time where Bible fell, still these niggas plot. But the believers, we know the plot twist. If you don't talk to God like that, you start with this. Hey.
you reached the listening and your number of the speak.
I told you that I got you and I told you that I love you, but I'm knowing that you're tired of hearing the same thing. Supposed to be is in a whip, switching the same lanes, and I'm knowing that it's hard, but baby, just don't change. I don't wanna break your heart or contribute no more pain, cause without you like a dog, I'd be going so insane. I don't wanna break this bond with lean just like change, and I know that shit get hard, but baby, it's gon' rain.
You said I don't have to worry. You said that nigga ain't me. You know he shattered my heart, but you said you pick up the pieces. Promise after promises. You gon' do that and you do this. All I get is your excuses. So I'm tired of your excuses. Now I'm starting to feel like being with you is such a mistake. And every time I call it quits, calling my phone begging me to stay. Like a fool, I take it back, cause I'm a fool for love and you count on that. And here we go, around again, on luxury, go around again. You say you treat me much better, said we'll be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. You say you treat me much better, said we'll be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. I didn't start loving me more than I'm loving these niggas. And once I start loving myself, I won't even trip all these niggas. The hurt from my past got me tripping, so I'm borderline insecure. Like that's why I take your bullshit, but I'm not taking your shit no more. And now I'm starting to feel like being with you is such a mistake. And every time I call it quits, calling my phone begging me to stay. Like a fool, I take it back, cause I'm a fool for love and you count on that. And here we go, around again, on luxury, go around again. You say you treat me much better, say we'll be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. You say you treat me much better, say we'll be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. You say you could be, you would be better. You say you could be, you would be better. You say you treat me better, say we be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. You say you treat me much better, say we be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. You say you treat me much better, say we be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever. You say you treat me much better, say we be in love forever. You break my heart, you say never. You say I'm sorry, whatever.
So you want to hear something that's full circle?
Uh-huh.
So this is really crazy.
Mhm.
So you know the scenes we shot in Queen's Mother, right?
Yes.
Do you know the original location where we were going to shoot the video at?
Mhm.
That was closed?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's where the new Queen's Mothers is going to be.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
So the Crystal City Park that we were going to shoot
Right.
originally at,
Right.
because it had like the little water thing going on,
Yeah.
and it was under construction.
Yeah.
The new Queen's Mother's restaurant is going to be over there.
Wow. Well, I will be getting me a chicken sandwich. D will be going back because he hasn't. Has you got it? Did you get it?
You wasn't with us when we went?
Did you ever get the chicken sandwich?
Yeah, I had to.
Okay. I'm going to be like, don't tell me he ain't get one in the whole year. Shout out to Chef Rock. I almost forgot someone. Shout out to Baltimore Mook. But my nephew, his name is Mooka, and he's the rapper that rapped on it. He's from Alabama, so we actually going to be getting him to come up here to perform this in December. Because he's been missing in action because it was like hard trying to get his schedule and get him up here to film. And it's so funny because a few people asked D and me, was AP the rapper? Because they was like, he don't give us that vibe. And I was like, no, he ain't. I said, that's why he didn't rap the words, you know? But I just want to shout you out. 'Cause he did an amazing job on that. And he did that like where he was, and
He sent it to you.
yeah. So that definitely worked out. So I definitely keep trying to shout him out because I'm like, hey, you a part. Even though he wasn't on the visuals, he was definitely a part of the project.
Oh, he's definitely part of the project.
Yeah.
That's dope. How do you feel when you watch the video?
Now it's surreal. During the time it was surreal. I was like, okay. And then when I first seen the video, I was also like, wow. But I wasn't sold yet. I was like, okay, I guess people gonna like it. Like, I don't know if they're gonna like it. And then that day at that release, when we sat down and he showed it, I had a few tears. People ain't know because I wasn't going. I just heard it right, but it was different seeing it then on the big screen, and everybody was like, they was standing up clapping because it was like
they was going off.
It was like a really great, and then also how I'm feeling now. It also inspired me to get the rest of the project together because seeing that it's like open ended. You like I'm as my own song. I'm like, what's next? You see the one video, it's like, what's the next thing? So what happened after she ran out the house? So I love that spin on it. See, I didn't realize how the visual that Dave and Rakim came up with, because I gave them the storyline and the visual what I was seeing. So growing up, I would always see videos. When I hear them, I hear the song, I see the video. And I was like, this is what I'm thinking. So we had a whole Zoom to come up with the storyline, everything. But to see it was like, wow. To this day, when I look back, I be like, yo, that was wow. And then running out the house, doing the car scene, and ending with the car scene, it just gives that mystery of like, what happened? So y'all stay tuned for what's next, because it's not going to be like trapped in the closet though. And that was, I know a lot of people got a problem with R. Kelly, so I ain't trying to stir nobody up. But the project Trapped in the Closet, I remember when I was a teen, that was it was too much.
It was creative, but then when it got to, then it got overwhelmed.
Right, so it's not going to be that, but every song is not going to be all for better, but it's going to intertwine, but you'll see, but not in that same way.
So it's funny because as we were doing EBS week this week at my job, Sunshine Anderson I interviewed her about a year ago, me and my team. Shout out to Alexa who set the interview up. Me, CP3, and Lady Antoinette interviewed her. And, and I just remember when the song came, I heard it all before, the girls who were setting up, we were getting the room ready this Friday, and they went berserk over it. And I was like, I interviewed. They was like, yeah, we know. But like Better reminds me of I heard it all before, because that Sunshine I heard it all before is a woman's anthem. Like 20 years later, like it's just crazy because I just literally she just came from, I think, overseas, like London, performing I Heard It All Before. 20 years later, like she's still eating off this one record.
Yes.
And it's a relatable record that people can relate to.
Yeah.
So I think Better is a very relatable record that people can relate to.
That's what everybody, even a few friends of mine, and then they were like, girl, but they were telling me before the video, like, yeah, we were listening, but that visual gave that sting to it, because then it's like, oh, and so I was excited, because I did not initially like the song, and that's all singers, that's just us, because it wasn't nothing that was wrong with the writing, so shout out to D'Amico Star, too, for producing and writing it. I just was like, okay, how am I going to sing this thing? It was just a lot of things that I felt like perfectionist-wise. I was like, I should have did it this way. And he was like, if you don't ever put out a record, you're never going to put out, like, you have to do it whether you think you did great or not, and just see what happens. And my team was big on pushing me, because let me tell you, every time they see me, every time 151 right, he's like, you gonna release Better? Like anytime soon.
I was threatening to just release it on my own.
Once they started to threaten, I was like, let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead. Because it was just the fear of what if, what if it's not that good? All these things that go in your head. And it reminded me when I started driving, even though I got a couple of nicks and bruises on that car. But it was like, do it. You can't, you just got to go. You just got to get it done. You just got to do it. So whoever's waiting to take that leap of faith to jump, sometimes you just got to jump and let the things come into play. And that's how I felt like with now, when I look at it, that's how I feel like, I jumped. And I remember when I posted, oh my God, 151, my heart was beating so fast. I was like, here we go. Because Dave started hitting me and said, okay, now you had to release at the thing. Now when you going to release it on the internet? I was like, huh? He was like, huh? When you going to release it? I said tomorrow. He was like, okay. And when I pressed, I was just like, it's like I wanted to throw up. I was like, it's out there now. So we get nervous. I get nervous.
There's nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna take a quick music break, and then we're gonna finish up.
Okay, y'all. See y'all soon. Oh, you got somebody in there.
No, that's really good.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Either watching football.
No, because I forgot there's a room, baby.
Let me tell you something real quick, man. You did your motherfucking thing.
Yeah, because the first time you said, Jerry came up to me like after the show, was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You heard? Y'all know what's up. We only do this shit real right here. 12-24 long. We doing this shit right. You heard? Are you ready, Slim? You sure you ready? You ready? Like, do your thing, homie.
I'ma tell y'all something one thing. My bad, mic was close. Rapping $1 million. Hey, business $1 million. But showing love, that shit priceless. I'ma tell y'all that shit priceless. You ain't gotta pay for that shit. So show some love and show some love to these people that's getting out here doing their thing. Try to do something out here, alright? Let's get it pumping, y'all. I'm getting pumping, alright?
Yeah, right. Yeah, shit, lie. All on me, she all on me. She just watch me count up 100 G's. I just pushed that weight and moved 100 G's. I just want the money, power, and a piece. All on me, it's all on me. I just touched down in the last for the week. Had to go and get away from the streets. Cause they know a nigga act this on me. Making it back off, go stack a rack up. Pull up the sex fifth, go drop a bag off. I got a tax show, the hang with rats dog. You can never catch me frontin' out of back off. I'm like, hey, back it up with these groceries, that's my safe word. All these bitches be the drug, that's my gateway. I be such a big stabber, they call out Mac Day. Dispatch to them fish, but you catch this KK. Every day's a payday. Open that safe, yeah. Won't do late, wait. Don't care what you say, yeah. I'm on the way, wait. Jump back like 2 or 3. I'll make you fade away. I can never trust no dog, never give up what I got. I just put up on the dot that I put up off the line. You can never run my day. Only thing you in my way. Always acting like a boss. Every time I took a loss. All on me, she all on me. She just watch me count up 100 G's. I just pushed that weight and moved 100 G's. I just want the money, power, and a piece. All on me, it's all on me. I just touched down in the lab for the week. Had to go and get away from the streets. Cause they know a nigga act this all on me. So on me, pay a fee. All these niggas all around me. We gon' see, ain't shit sweet. Got respect, cause ain't shit free. Pay them shoes, pay them jeans. Got you down to a T. Even riding in Miami. Got me gripping on my feet. Got on fast, go by the side when she down on me. All these snitches, all these apps, see them around for me. Never will be giving you props, don't you for me. Always catching on that guy, keep come around for me. Tell them on the left, count my pesos. Someone check the record, they come before I go. You know they don't step, hit out the window. On my wrist be heavy, pull up the Draco. What the heck for? How I gotta go? Never really care what you fight for. On my payroll, is what you might go. All these haters around me do what I say so. All on me, she on me. She gets my cheese. I just push that way in the middle.